The Comics and Crypto podcast is for informational purposes only, and anything expressed by the hosts or their guests is solely their opinion. This podcast does not constitute financial advice, and anyone wishing to invest should seek their own independent financial or professional help. Have fun and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Hare, and I know comics.
Hi, I'm Spencer Vogel, and I know crypto.
Hi, I'm Kevin Lee Loader, and I don't know shit. This is the Comics and Crypto podcast.
Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, collector's world in a digital age. Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, it's where the next billionaires will be made. It's comics and crypto.
What is up, fam? Thanks so much for stopping by today. Today, we're going to talk about Undervalued comics on VeVe. So, Spencer, what's on your list of undervalued comics on VeVe right now?
Right now, I am stacking Tales to Astonish number 13. It's shocking to me how cheap this comic is. It should be worth so much more than it currently is. It only has 20,000 editions. It's super, super scarce. And with there being only 521 graded on the CGC census overall, combining both the digital and the physical, it's pretty safe to presume that there's under 21,000 total editions, both physical and digital, of this book that will ever be created. So, you know, it's a super, super scarce book. It's the first appearance of Groot. Everybody loves Groot. Like, I don't know anybody who doesn't like Groot. It's a super, super popular character. I mean, he just got his own like short series on Disney Plus. I don't see Groot going anywhere, and I think we'll continue to see him in the MCU. The highest grade of this book in the physical world is a 9.4, which is never sold, at least on record. And the last 9.2 to sell was sold for about $15,000, and that was in 2014. Sean, what do you think that would sell for today if that were to sell?
Easily 6 digits. The 9.2 would sell for 6 digits easily. Yeah. 8 years ago, it's Groot's becoming more and more popular. And that's the thing, right? The important thing about these comic books, the FAs specifically, relevance and popularity. And we know that Marvel is very hype on this character. They continue to make content for him. He has his own little original short show for Baby Groot. And the cool thing that you said earlier, that I actually have a theory about this, Groot is going to have a long lifespan in the MCU. Why? He's a digital character.
Yeah.
He's a digital character, and he says one word.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's cool that Vin Diesel's doing the voiceover for him, but like, if Vin Diesel can easily be replaced, and is that going to ruin the character? No, absolutely not.
No.
It's all about Groot. It's not, people are watching Groot for Groot, not because it's Vin Diesel doing the voice of Groot, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm under the impression that Groot is going to have a long, long lifespan, and probably has the safest lifespan in the MCU for that reason.
Oh, it's a big statement. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So for that reason, I'm very hype on this book. I've always actually loved this book. The cover is so freaking cool.
Such a cool cover.
And I'm actually
I really like the VeVe exclusive cover. I really like as well.
It's a very cool cover. And I'm actually a huge fan of the SR. I think it's one of the coolest SRs on the entire app. I don't even own one. I'm looking at it. I've been eyeing the market, but I personally don't even own one. I own a few of the URs and the commons and uncommons. But yeah, to add to your point, I totally agree. Yeah, it's a very undervalued comic. Purely because of scarcity, right? Alone. The comic has less than 600 total editions on the CGC census, and there's probably not many more in physical format. Translating that to popularity, it's Groot, to all the points that we mentioned earlier. So popularity and scarcity, it's got going for it, which is a really important duo. So yeah, very excited about Groot. Yeah,
the commons are still selling for under retail, shockingly. URs are selling for below $30, which makes 0 sense to me. And the SRs are like $170. Like it's a no-brainer to stack these right now, in my opinion. I think once we get a big influx of users over the next couple of years, this is going to be one of the most popular books that people go for.
And also to add to your point, Spencer, the cheapest you can get for this comic right now, fair market value according to Go Collect, is $1,650. Wow. $1,650 is the cheapest fair market value for this comic, and that's a 0.5 grade. I basically torn to shit like copy.
Tattered. Yeah.
I mean, I think this is going to do very well over time, and just based on value in the physical space, it just makes total sense. Especially really any comic that you can get that has significant value in IP under retail is great value. And I think this is one of those few that it's like it's a home run. It's really the safe floor with big upside. Great call,
Spencer. This is a steal. Major steal.
So for me, going back to FF1, huge fan of Fantastic Four 1. Is
never
the first
comic.
Oh, it just speaks to my heart. And I'm very excited for these characters to come to the MCU because people will now understand like the significance of the Fantastic Four. I'm so excited for that announcement. Apparently, there's speculation that these characters are the actors playing these characters are going to be announced at D23, along with the director. Strong rumors that it's going to be Matt Shakeman, who directed the entire series of WandaVision. He's mostly known for television. He actually directed 45 episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I didn't know that. Wow.
That is by far one of my favorite shows. I've seen every episode multiple times, and
Same.
yeah, we're a huge fan of the podcast that we rip off constantly.
Yeah. Cut that.
But yeah, I mean, one of the episodes that he did was the Jersey Shore episode, which is one of my favorites.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he also directed Charlie McDennis when they do the Game of Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. So good. So what I love about that pick is he understands telling the story of a dysfunctional family, right? At its core. And that's what the Fantastic Four are about. They're a dysfunctional family that come together. And that's really cool. And he knows comedy. Because really, that's also very important. Lighthearted comedy. And it's selfish. A lot of the characters aren't always sunny. You know, there's at their core, they do love each other.
Yeah.
You know, even
They're all
though they're very
horrible people.
selfish. They're all horrible people. They're terrible people individually and even to each other. But at their core, when it really counts, they're there for each other.
Mhm.
And that's what the Fantastic Four represent, right? Putting aside all the bad stuff, the bad characteristics. I'm very excited for that director if this actually is truth. But yeah, the Fantastic Four right now, I mean, I think this comic is in physical format still incredibly undervalued because you're looking at this comic, it's still a grail. It's a significant grail. The 9.2 of this comic sold back in April of 2022 for $1.5 million.
Wow.
1.5 million. I still feel like that's pretty undervalued. There are only 2 9.6s in existence, and that's the comic in its highest grade, and they've never sold. I think this comic would sell for 8 figures. Yeah, 10 million plus. I think that's probably conservative too, especially looking at the recent sale. If you're referencing the entire collectibles market and the grails, you're looking at like the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card, and that sold for 12.5 million, and that wasn't even the highest grade. There's 3 10s. That was 9.5. PSA only has a 9 and 10. But there are 3 10s in existence, and it's been estimated those would sell right now for over $30 million. I mean, Jeremy Padawa recently tweeted that out too. He thinks it would sell for $30 to $35 million. So to say that the most significant grail, one of the most significant grails in Marvel history and its highest grade, I think 10 million is incredibly conservative. As a 0.5 grade, this comic fair market value, according to Go Collect, is worth $8,500. So a torn to shit copy of Fantastic Four 1 is worth $8,500. That's amazing. Incredible value, guys. And the commons right now they're hovering around 40 gems. The ultra rares are hovering around 250 gems, and the secret rares are about $4,000. Incredible value.
Yeah.
Because right now, like I mentioned, they haven't had an impact in the MCU. They haven't had an impact on people worldwide. So you're getting a book with a tremendously safe floor with massive, massive upside potential. You know that they have huge plans for Fantastic Four in the MCU. So take advantage of that opportunity. Take advantage of it. I mean, that's the thing about us, right? We love safe floors with big upside. And I really personally believe that this is one of the safest floors, one of the biggest upsides for that reason.
Yeah. Plus, it's the second comic that ever released on VeVe and that was ever released by Marvel in the digital format. So hugely significant for that reason as well.
Absolutely. So I'm very hype on this comic and its future. We were lucky enough to pull a low mint UR that we recently tweeted about, a 585.
Yeah.
There are great deals out there, guys. We got a steal on that one. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about that comic. Yeah. That was an unbelievably good deal that we all pitched in on and got it together.
Let's go into the long-term comics and crypto vault.
We have a lot of comics together.
Yeah, we have a really good collection of stuff shared.
Yeah. We have a low min, Dr. Doom. What else we got?
We got a low min AF-15 ultra rare.
Oh, that one's great. That's a great one. Yeah. We have a lot of really cool comics.
And now a word from our sponsor. Looking to buy or sell physical comics? Then check out Elite Comics 11, Instagram's #1 community-powered comics sales page. Elite Comics 11 is our favorite place to safely buy and sell comics. They are a CGC and CBCS authorized dealer and sell a variety of comics from Silver Age Grails to modern day keys. Inventory is updated daily, and don't forget to check out their incredible almost daily live stream comic sales. The next time you're looking to buy or sell physical comics, make sure you turn to Elite Comics 11. Follow at elite_comics11 on Instagram and see what all the buzz is about.
Yeah.
So speaking of AF-15, also great value. I mean, right now, you look at the commons, they're around $500.
Yeah. Like
It's
500,
hard to
600 in that range.
Do you think they're going to dip down lower? Do you think they're going to go higher? What do you think?
I think they'll probably sit around 500. I think that's kind of like the psychological floor that people have in their heads, and I think it'll probably stay around there. A lot of people who have them, I mean, just because there's only 10,000 of them, are never going to sell them. Like they're holding on to these things for at least 5 years plus. So we don't even have that many that are on the market. Yes, I don't really see them moving that much lower, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That sounds about right. I have a certain level of entry that I'm going to attack more commons, but I think 500 is actually fair market value right now, and it feels like that's the price that's been settling at. That being said, guys, I mean, whether they implement burning or not on the VeVe app, this is a very scarce comic. There's only 10,000 total editions, and its popularity way outweighs the scarcity. You don't need to explain to people who Spider-Man is. People know him worldwide. So regardless if they can read the cover or not, they understand that character and they understand the value of this comic for that reason. So there's tremendous upside for this comic worldwide, long term. Very excited for the future of AF-15. I know everyone was super hyped for it to come on the app, and the sky's the limit, to be honest. I mean, really, when you have the opportunity to buy these with crypto, man, who knows? Who knows where this is all going to go?
Get some really, really big purchases.
The record sale for this comic was a 9.6 last year for $3.6 million. And that's easily worth over $5 million now. Just a year. It increased by almost 50%. And a 0.5 copy, according to GoCollect, the fair market value is $15,000. $15,000 for a 0.5. And that's like, some of the comics have half the cover missing. They're torn to crap. And then people are paying 15 grand for it. And that's probably going to continue to go up in value over time because of popularity. And there's 132.5 grades on CGC Census, that's quite a bit for a 0.5 grade. Here's a very safe floor with big upside. So even at $500, I mean, due to scarcity and popularity, sky's the limit for this comic. But then looking at other opportunities too, Marvel Comics 1. That comic, we know it's a grail. We all know the value of this thing because it's the first NFT ever released by Marvel. And also the comic just doesn't exist in physical format. There's only 65 copies on the CGC Census and probably less than 100 in existence today. I think it's probably safe to say that number is probably pretty close. Big upside on VeVe, right? Because of that reason. I mean, can you imagine a point in the future where all those physical comics are gone and the only way to actually truly own one is on the blockchain? And I don't think that's unrealistic. I mean, we're probably talking a few hundred years away from that.
Yeah, a few hundred years.
Yeah. But even then, I'm just saying the idea of that is pretty remarkable, right? And that's what I love about these comics on VeVe, right? It encapsulates their IP. That's special. So these comics are pretty expensive. So what are some other comics that you can invest in that's probably better for your budget? Like Spencer mentioned earlier, Tales to Astonish 13, great level of entry, especially under retail, 7 gems. Because like Marvel Comics 1 commons are hovering around $100. And that's still, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a tighter budget. What are some other comics with big upside? Well, you got to think about the MCU. Because again, it comes down to popularity and relevance. Comics like Young Avengers #1, All New Point 1 #1, which is the first appearance of Kamala Khan. Vengeance #1, the first appearance of America Chavez. These are all significant comics because they're all first appearances of significant characters coming to the MCU that are going to make a big impact. And you see that just based off marketing, right? Yeah. America Chavez, Kamala Khan, you're starting to see them on Funko Pops, on merchandise and commercials, video games.
I mean, Kamala Khan already had her own show.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't even state the obvious. Yeah. That's Kate Bishop. She's her first appearance is on Young Avengers #1. Along with multiple other significant characters that we will eventually see in the MCU, including Eli Bradley, who was teased in The Falcon and Winter Soldier. So again, you want to look at the future of the MCU. These characters we know are coming. They're only going to increase in popularity over time. And the value right now for a lot of these comics are very low. You're looking at, a lot of them are hovering around $750 to $1,200 as a 9.8 grade in physical format, right? So, okay, so we're looking at the commons. they're dipping under 7 gems. That's under retail. It's safe to say, I mean, if the raw books are going for $300 to $500, I mean, thinking just conservatively, you know, these commons going for 20 gems. That's about 5x your investment. I think that's very conservative, and it's
very
relatively
conservative.
in the relatively near future.
It makes this one of the most stackable comics that you can get on the app right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you get 50 of those for what, around $250? That's great value.
Yeah.
With big upside. The comics are already very popular in the physical format. The characters are already very popular, and they are the future of the MCU. And I think the most significant one is Miles Morales, right?
Yeah.
Ultimate Fallout #4. He's already had an incredible movie, Into the Spider-Verse. It's inevitable that we see him in the MCU. Absolutely good to see him in the MCU. I personally think it'd be really cool if they tie Into the Spider-Verse with the MCU. Like in the end of the film, you actually see him become human. Can you imagine how amazing that'd be?
Wow.
I
just got chills.
I mean, how amazing would that be, right? There's a really cool YouTube channel that I love called Everything Always. Highly recommend his channel. He talks a lot about MCU speculation. Very credible. Resources are amazing. And he's very honest and upfront about everything. You know, he's just a really cool guy. And he talked about how he was over at a friend's place and he saw a commercial for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And America Chavez was on screen. And his friend's younger daughter, who's about 8 or 9, she came running in and she said, "Is that America? Is that America?" Because she reads the America Chavez books. There are kids out there right now, when you ask them, who is Spider-Man? They'll say Miles Morales. That's the future of the MCU, guys. And that's why I believe in these comics, because they already have safe floors and they have big upsides long term. So very exciting. These are all these books we're very excited about. And also make sure to reference our rankings. These rankings help you determine value in physical and digital format. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and we will see you on the next one.